Dun, 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 it's a podcast and playing Burnout. It's all the one-way intersection games. It's Eric and his podcast. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Woo. Hope you like the intro music. That was not the intro music provided by Tommy Shadow. I downloaded that file. He made intro music, sent it, the link to it on Twitter. I downloaded it, and I still have yet to unzip the file even. I just a bunch of shit going on, so I haven't even listened to it. I'm sure it's great. Here's a preview right here. Yep, there we go. It sounds amazing. I will make sure to listen to it and put it in the next episode. It's just so much shit going on, which we'll hit later. Also, bear with me. It actually doesn't look bad. I am not capturing it through my capture device, because this is what I'm using. It's like Avermedia, is that a 2 plus? The 4K whatever bullshit. It just refuses to capture audio. It does it a lot of the time, but usually I just have to unplug it and plug it back in and it works. It just would not work. This is a piece of shit. Do not buy this. Only reason I bought it is because I wanted to try to like get away from Elgato, just because I've only ever used Elgato. So I just was like, oh, I'll try something else. It's not good. Anyway, so I'm playing on the Xbox app. Like, my console's on. You can see the light there. I'm playing through the Xbox app connected to my console, so it should still be fine. But just in case there's any like weird visual glitches, especially because this is a racing game, it's fast paced. You know why? That was loud in my ears. That was loud in my ears. Okay, I think that is better. Sure. So in the words of, hold on, I have things up here. Hold on. In the words of Westburn World, welcome to the Burnout podcast, or the 1WI Games podcast, or fucking who cares? It's not an actual podcast. It doesn't matter. It's literally just me trying to like distract me from the fact that I'm playing Burnout again and to make it fun. Why was I in this car? I don't know. But as I just demonstrated, what I want to do this episode is just read comments. I got 5 comments on the last video as of when this video is being recorded. I'm just gonna reply to them, and I'm gonna do a bunch of races. I'm gonna avoid collection just because I feel like I've done nothing but collection. So I want to do races while I do that. It's gonna devolve into collection because I'm not gonna be paying attention. That's a burning root. I can't do that. God damn it. But yeah, I'm gonna go through all 5 comments and respond to them, whether they require a response or not. I already hit one. That was, I need you. I already hit one, which was just saying welcome to the podcast. Hell yeah. Shut up. I need to turn that down in my ears because I need to hear myself think. Actually, I don't. I probably shouldn't hear myself think. That's a scary thought. What's let's hit another comment. Rustlin. Oh my god. You're already killing me with the names. I'm gonna butcher this. Rustlin Borisenko. Maybe? That might not have actually been as difficult as I thought, or I butchered it horribly. Hey Eric, I love the original series you had with this game. So seeing you play the Remastered really takes me back. Keep up the series. I will keep up the series. It still baffles me anytime though that someone's like, oh yeah, I love the original Burnout series, because I don't think any of my original stuff was that good. I mean, to be fair, it was more indicative of the kind of content I liked to watch at the time. I liked watching full playthroughs. I liked watching unedited videos, unedited gameplay footage. So that's kind of what I went with. Also, Burnout just in general. Racing games in general are like a niche thing. And then 100% completion on top of that is even more niche. So, like, I'm not, like it kind of makes sense, but it's still a little surprising why Burnout Paradise was always my— shut up! I know, why are you telling me? So, okay. I think I finished talking about that comment enough, so I can just get kind of sidetracked by my phone. So, my credit card, or my debit card, the chip on it mostly works, but for whatever reason, it's bad enough that sometimes Wawa, like the gas pumps, don't capture. I also just said Wawa and realized that's not something that's everywhere. Wawa is like a gas station that also has like sandwiches. Like, it also, you can go in and get like a hoagie. I don't really know how else to describe it. I don't really know what to say it's like, because I don't know what other people have, but there you go. But anyway, the gas pumps just don't recognize my card, but they do have just because, like, it doesn't read the chip or whatever. Like, I tried it the one time, just kept trying to put the chip in, and it just wasn't working. I had to actually go in and prepay at, like, give them money. Like, give them a $20 bill and be like, hey, put this on the pump. That was the first time in my life, I think, that I've ever had to do that, because I've always just had a debit card that I could just use at the pump. So I had to do that. And then after that, I set up Google Pay, because the gas pumps have the, like, you just hold your phone up to the thing and do that. But it's attached to my PayPal, because to attach it to my card, I'd have to, like, set it up on the thing and then call my bank, and that's just way too much work just to use debit card, especially when my PayPal's already attached to my bank. I could just do that. So that's what I do. And it was just telling me, hey, by the way, you paid this much at Wawa for gas. And it's like, great. I know that. That was yesterday. You already told me that. Why are you telling me it again? I don't get it. I need another card, because my parents have the cards that you can just, like, the actual card has the tap thing. So, like, I need to just get another card, but mine doesn't actually expire until, like, it doesn't expire anytime soon. So it's like, should I get a new card, or should I just wait it out? Especially because I have the workaround of use PayPal through Google Play. I also just crashed. Like, how did I completely go into that median? It's also like 10:30 in the morning, and I had some coffee. Ugh. So that might be why I'm crashing, but it's also just because I suck. The next comment I want to set up, but I probably should have set that up before I started the race. So let's finish this. Why you do a drive-away? I just want to get through I just want you to crash and reset me so that I have a better start. But yeah, there's a little setup. So I'll finish the burning route, or fail the burning route, because this doesn't look like it's actually going to go well. Wait, there's a restart race thing, isn't there? Like, if I fail the race, can I restart it? I don't remember if that's a thing. I know I can... I feel like I remember that being a thing. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna fail this. It's right here. Woo. Truck. Woo. Alright. So now I can set up the next thing. Oh, what's that sound? Oh, hold on, I closed the Xbox thing. Oh, what's that sound? That means it's time for the ramble round. Yeah. I couldn't think of a better name. So this is the part of the video where I do a thing. Things happen. That's not what I want. That timer is not. That's a terrible timer. I want this one. And then, oh yeah, you just play classical music that's turned off. I don't care. Hold on. This is going straight. Phone! Stop! Who's texting me? Alright, I got a timer. Is that good? Where are things? I don't know where things are on the screen. Ah, it's over the boost. It doesn't matter. So this is the part of the podcast where I read a question that is either not a question or a question that doesn't actually require a lot of words. That actually ended up working out. Yeah, not a lot of words. It doesn't require like an actual like response. Like for the example, this episode of the podcast, we got Orion XD and hello. You could send me a greeting, porfa. Normally, I could just say hi, cause that would be a greeting, but. I'm gonna, the goal is I'm going to take this comment and talk as long as possible about it with, just not really saying words. Basically, I'm gonna ramble about this comment, which isn't really a question that requires an in-depth answer. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. You'll figure it out. So, am I recording Audacity and all that? Yeah, I am. Okay. Oh, this is chaos. All right. So that's the comment. Rambling starts now. So, to be completely honest, I had to look up what porfa meant. I wasn't sure if that was actually a word or if the person writing this comment like had a stroke writing it and just like slammed their face on the keyboard and that's what came out. But no, it is the actual thing. It's Spanish. It's apparently an informal way to say por favor. I wouldn't know that because I didn't take Spanish. Well, that's not 100% true. I took Spanish in 7th grade because we had to. We had like classes where it was like an exploratory Spanish thing where, well, there was exploratory Spanish and exploratory German where we basically had 45 days because it was only a quarter. It wasn't even like a full semester. It was a quarter of the school year where we basically just took Spanish and took German, and it sort of determined which one we were going to take later on. Well, it didn't determine it. It helped us determine which one we were going to take later. Because like if you went and you're like, I think German's really neat, and you still use the word neat, then you could take German the next year. You could just do the same thing with Spanish, and later on they added French. Like, it wasn't there when I was there, but they added French later on, which means you then had 3 to choose from, which means each class was only 30 minutes, or 30 minutes, 30 days, one of those measurements of time, I've crashed so much, god damn it. But which doesn't seem like a lot of time to figure out whether or not you like a language or whether or not you want to take a language, but you know, that's what they had. So you basically just, I took that for 45 days, and then I was like, you know what? Next year, I'm gonna take German. Main reason, there actually wasn't really a reason, like, language-wise. The main reason is just, like, I'm mostly Pennsylvania Dutch, which is basically just, like, redneck German. So, you know, it just felt more, I don't know. I just decided to stick with German instead because, you know, heritage or some bullshit. But so I had no idea what porfa meant. So I looked it up just to make sure I wasn't like missing something, and I was, because I don't speak Spanish, like I said. And basically I found a website that was talking about it that was basically like Quora, but specifically for Spanish. Like, the thing was in English, but it was specifically for the Spanish language, of like asking questions. I don't know what it was. I don't know why it was, but it was. And someone, I think the question was something along the lines of like, what situations is it appropriate to use porfa? And someone basically was like, oh, it's just only in informal situations, you know. Eventually, like towards the end of the thing, was like, basically you should should learn it the right way, because it doesn't make sense to learn it the other way. It's like, that makes no sense, because like basically being like, oh, you shouldn't learn the slang term because that's not proper that's like basically if someone's learning English and, you know, they learn a slang term, like they start calling people dude, and it's like, you shouldn't be using that. That's not proper English. That's slang. You shouldn't be using slang. But also when it comes to like who, that like they listed like a couple examples of like who you should not use porfa for. One of them was like your boss. Hey, sweet. One of them was like don't your boss, which I think is stupid. If you have a boss that doesn't want you to be informal, that sounds like the most boring job ever. Like, honestly, my boss, at least my, like, maybe not my immediate boss, but my immediate boss wouldn't care, but my, like, the dev manager, if I went, yo, sup dude, he wouldn't give a shit. He'd be concerned because that doesn't match my personality in the slightest. So he would think like I'm sick or like on drugs or something. But like in terms of like it being informal, people don't give a shit. Like if you have a boss that's like you call them dude, or like you be informal, like somewhat informal towards them, like obviously there's a line you can, you know, if you're like going super like buddy and all that, like yeah, maybe you're being a little too informal. But like if you're just, oh well, you gotta let me give me a chance to take you down. But if you're just saying dude, you know, just being that level of informal, it doesn't really matter. Like who cares? Like it doesn't change anything. It doesn't do anything. Like as long as you're still acting like a boss, it doesn't really matter if you're informal. Honestly, I think that's better, in my opinion, because it makes the boss like easier to approach. Like, hey, you have problems? Well, you can just have a chat with them. Like, especially for someone like me who doesn't like conflict and doesn't like, you know, talking to people, because talk to people are that's scary. You know, and you know, anxiety, all of that. But you know, it just makes it easy to be informal. So yeah, like I don't understand why boss was on that list. I mean, I guess some bosses, they wouldn't appreciate that. And again, if you have a boss like that, probably find a new job, because that sounds awful. And then the other one that kind of like was like weird to me is they also listed priest, and I was like, is that a thing? Like, are you not supposed to be informal towards priests? That's also sounds really boring. Like, why would you want to be a religion where you can't just like have a chat with the priest? Like, I mean, I like, is that a thing, or was the person just being like a weird like Spanish grammar Nazi? Like, I don't know, because I'm not religious. I was at church a total of 2 instances, which actually is like 1 instance stretched across 2 days, but it is basically like 2 distinct visits to church, not counting a wedding. I was there for a wedding once, but only twice for an actual like sermons or whatever, because like my parents aren't religious. My mom's agnostic. My dad, I don't know if she's still agnostic, but she was. My dad's atheist, so it's like never really went to church, and so I never really experienced all that until my my neighbor at the time, who's basically my age, you know, hung out a lot. He was doing like a week-long, it was like a Bible study week-long thing. I don't even know if Bible study is the right term, because we weren't studying anything. It was literally, you go there 5 days in a row, Monday through Friday, just sit through some priest or pastor of some sort talking about whatever, Jesus or something. I couldn't tell you what he was actually talking about. You would just sit through that, and then then we go down, like, I think it was a basement area. It was like a made up to be like a playroom kind of thing, and it was like, you do arts and crafts. It's like, woo, that's amazing, great, fun. This is incredibly boring. And after 2 days, I told my dad, like, yeah, I really don't want to go again. I was probably like 7 or something at this time, but I was like, yeah, I really don't want to go to that. And he was like, all right, then just fake sick. Just when the neighbor comes over to pick you up, just tell him you're sick. So I did for the next 3 days, because I was just really did not want to go. And my dad, I think, fully knew this. Like, he fully knew I was going to hate it, but, you know, he was the kind where he's like, I'm not gonna tell him like he can't go, or tell him not to go or whatever. Like, he wants to go, he can go. Like, he'll figure it out. You know, he'll figure out that he hates it. And I did, and I've never gone to church since then. Like, yeah, because I think I was at like a whole 2 funerals in my life, and I don't think any of them were in a church. One was like a funeral home, one was just directly in the cemetery. So yeah, I haven't been in church outside of the one wedding I was at since then, which is ironic, because everyone makes the same fucking joke because I have long hair and a beard. It's like, oh, it's Jesus. My family, oh my god, every single time, not my entire family, but like my uncle especially, every single time I go to a family dinner, which is usually Christmas, because I just stopped going to Easter and Thanksgiving because I don't like most of my extended family, and my parents are like, when I'm like, hey, I don't want to go, my parents are like, I don't give a shit, just don't come. My dad's probably like, I know my dad's like, fuck, I wish I could go. I could not go. But yeah, so I pretty much only go Christmas, and every single time I walk in the door and it's like, oh my god, Jesus, oh Jesus grace with present. It's like, it's not even annoying. Like, it's not like it makes me upset or anything. Like, I don't really care that they're making joke and be like, Jesus, whatever. It's just so lame and like played out. Like seriously, you can't think of any better jokes? Like, there's so many other things you could have, like, there's probably so many other jokes you could have made, and you stuck with the like basic bitch, just Jesus, cause long hair and beard, and I don't have thought in my brain to make any other connection. I have mind of caveman, apparently, based on the way I'm talking. It's just, I just tune it out because it's like it doesn't really annoy me. It's just one of those I'm just like really you've been making the same joke for like years. Like I've had long hair, maybe not this long, but I've had long hair since basically senior year of high school, so like over 10 years, and it's like they've been making the joke the entire time. It's like you've been making the same joke for over 10 years. I hope you're proud of yourself. And then every time someone new comes along and makes the same joke, and it's like they think they're clever, and it's like, haha, yeah, I haven't heard that one 50 million times. Like, yeah, you're really are something there. Like, good job. Hope you're proud of yourself. And they are, unnecessarily so. They shouldn't be proud of themselves because like they really didn't do anything pride-worthy. Yeah, it just baffles me that in 10 years they just can't think up any other jokes. You know? Strangely enough, that's not even the reason I don't like seeing my extended family. It's just that's just icing on top of the cake. I did that. That's like sprinkles or something, or like paprika. I don't know, spices. Anyway, what was the talk about? What was the comment? Hello, you could say, oh, yeah, greetings. Is that what you wanted? Time. 13 minutes, 26 seconds, 26.72 seconds is now the time to beat. Thank you. Applause all around. Yeah, that was a thing. I haven't seen the car that's driving around, by the way. That'll happen at some point. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Tune in. I was gonna say next episode, but it probably won't be because I'll probably forget that it exists, or I won't get a comment that really fits that theme. I don't know. It'll happen again at some point, or I'll forget it exists. Who knows at this point? But yeah, that was the thing that happened. So a little behind the scenes. I thought of that idea. Just like I read that comment, I looked up Porfa. Like a lot of the stuff that I said was true. Actually, all of it pretty much was true. I did look up the comment. Oh, that's not the right way. I did look up look up the word Porfa, found that like Quora article where it's like, hey, you wouldn't say this to a priest, would you? And I was like, what the fuck? And I just like, I don't know what triggered it in my mind, but I'm just like, I could ramble about this for a while. I didn't think a while was gonna, I also love how I'm in the middle of a Marked Man event and I'm getting collection. I didn't think 13 minutes was as long as I was gonna do. I have a lot of ideas actually about, I don't know how many of them are gonna come to fruition and how many of them will actually be good in practice, but I have a lot of ideas about how to keep this interesting, this series, just because it is just me playing Burnout again. Like, some people, like I mentioned before, some people love the original series, so they'll probably love this series regardless of how entertaining it is. Like, I could just literally do exactly what I did in the first series, just re-record it, essentially, and there'd be people that would be like, oh my god, this series is the best. But for my sake, for my sanity, I want to keep it interesting. And I want to do stupid shit like that. Also, just the character of podcast host that has no idea what the fuck he's doing, because like early on I'm just like stammering the entire way through. By the way, that was not like, I could understand how someone would be like, is Eric okay? Like, what? He's like stuttering and all that way more than usual. That was on purpose. Like, maybe the first, I don't remember for sure, maybe the first stutter was like accidental, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play it up. So expect that going forward. Expect more of the, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about kind of thing, and just like the it's a pop that, you know, there's the podcasts of some sort, and I got some comments here. Like, expect more of that, because I really like this character. The main reason I'm also getting out of character is because, like, we're getting into at least one comment that is going to be 100% out of character. But first, let's start with Tommy Shadow's comment. First, dude, you need podcast intro music, want me to make one? Which he did. By the way, yeah, like I said, still haven't heard it. Here it is. You know what? I played a preview earlier. Here it is in its entirety, just at 30 times speed. Future me is absolutely gonna fucking hate past me. Because I'm gonna have to edit this. Like, the last 2 episodes, I just rambled the entire time, where I didn't need to cut anything out. I didn't even need to watch the video. I went back to my roots from like 2017, where I just like synced everything, trimmed the end in the beginning, and then exported. That's not true. I edited the you know, ad with Winston. I had to edit that, obviously, because, you know, that I needed something there. Wait, did someone I fucked it up. I got caught in my hair. God damn you, hair. Foiled again by my own scalp. I was just gonna bring up Winston and have him start talking. It's fine. It's fine. Also, I'm doing it in the middle of a fucking race, so I need my hand on the controller, so I like moved my right hand over to control it with one hand. I was gonna be like, did someone mention me? Winston loves— Shut up. That was the joke that was gonna happen, and I fucked it up. I was just gonna throw him off. Oh, this is an absolute catastrophe, and I love it. I haven't had a catastrophe of a video this bad since fucking Amazing Island Part 1. Go watch that if you haven't seen that. That one was absolutely insane. I kicked the front off of my new computer at one point. Greg happened, which Greg is a character that I want to keep going, because I have Greg, Cat Greg. Like, I thought before I stopped doing everything, I thought about doing, like, Wrestling Empire. And maybe I'll still do that at some point, because that one would just be fucking ridiculous. Maybe, like, if I decide to start streaming ever, I'll do that. Because if you've ever seen Wrestling Empire, it's just an absolute fucking chaos game. And I wanted Greg the wrestler. I want Greg to just be this, like, interdimensional being that just turns into anything. Any species, any thing, like any powers. Like, I want Greg, like, I had Shadow, but Shadow was strictly restricted to Elder Scrolls. He was like the only character that like continued on through games. But Greg would be timeless. No limit to the games, no limit to the series. Greg would be timeless. Also, how the fuck did I get talking about Greg? Oh, chaos. That's how it was. Anyway, comment. Okay, that's funny. My sister's in the process of buying her own Ikea TV stand. Oh, yeah, because I mentioned last episode that I needed to buy a new TV, which, right there, needed to buy a new TV and new TV stand. And, this comment's about that. Yeah. My brain's broken right now. That's funny. My sister's in the process of buying her own Ikea TV stand. Apparently the specific doors she wants are new, so they won't be in for at least a month. The good news is it's Ikea, so she could buy the door separately later. So, funny enough, in a very similar circumstance, in my case, it wasn't the doors, because like the doors would not be bad. Like, I didn't want doors because I have like Wii and some things where it's like I have corded controllers. Like, I could use doors and then just have it open if I want to play one of those systems, but I figured it's just easier to not have doors. I could always buy doors later, like that says. But the doors would not be an issue, because if you don't have doors,
whatever. It still functions as a TV stand. It functions as shelves. It's completely fine. So the problem for me was not doors, because like I said, doors still function as doors function. What am I saying? Shelves without doors still function as shelves. What makes shelves not function as shelves is if they're missing shelves. So I ordered the shelves, and they were supposed to come on like a Wednesday. That Monday, I get an email with a PDF, because apparently they never heard of like templating emails. They made a PDF and then attached that to the email. I don't know. I'm not going to question Ikea. I'm going to question them heavily. But I don't know why the fuck they decided that was a good idea. So I get an email with a PDF. Open the PDF. And it says, hey, when we went to pick your items, turns out we were out of shelves. Like, they have the shelving unit. Like, clearly I have the TV stand. I have the actual unit itself. But the inner shelves, I just don't have. Like, I was gonna get 4 shelves because basically each section, if I have 2 shelves in each, it essentially doubles the space that I had from my other TV stand, which is good because my PS4 and my Switch were both sitting on the ground. Like, they weren't on shelves, they were just on the ground in front of the TV stand. Yeah, I knew I was gonna lose that one. And
looks like someone thought they could outrun the bad guys with a bit of Sunday driving.
Shut the fuck up.
When the going gets tough, the tough fight back.
Yeah, I got it.
Run to the nearest auto repair.
Yeah, Tatamika, shut your face. But I get a notification saying like they don't have the shelves in stock, which I'm like, whatever. Because I really only need my Xbox One hooked up. I'm not planning on playing any of the others recently. I mean, hell, I've been playing Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 in my spare time, and I've been playing them on the emulator. I have a Wii that can play GameCube games. I have both of those GameCube discs, and I've been playing on the emulator instead just because it's easier. So, like, it's not like I need the other consoles hooked up. But it would have been nice to just get them hooked up and get it out of the way. But I can't because I don't have shelves. And the best part about it is, they apparently don't know, they've never heard of the concept of back ordering. Because instead of, giving me, alright, instead of, just being like, hey, we don't have these in stock, you can cancel the order if you want to, but if you don't cancel the order, we'll just send them when they're in stock. Like, they could easily do something like that. That's how a lot of places do things. It's like, hey, it turned out this was out of stock, whoops, we'll get it to you as soon as possible. And like, they'll refund you on your shipping or something. Like, they'll somehow make up for it. Like, if you paid for expedited shipping, they'll be like, hey, we can't actually expedite this, whoops. Which is fine. Like, inventory, like, something like that is tough because, especially if it's in the store, especially if they pick it from the store, you don't know who's gonna come in and buy it before it gets picked off the shelves. It's possible that you think you have more inventory than you actually do, due to either theft or, like, damage. Like, you could go in the back and be like, oh yeah, we have a whole nother, like, crate of these, and then it's like, oh, they're all water damaged, and it's like, well, that's no good. So, like, it is tough. I understand that. But you just they're on back order. Like, I went on the thing, and it's like, oh, they'll be in like 3 weeks. And it's like, cool. I have to sign up for an alert to let me know when they're in stock in 3 weeks, and it's like, why don't you just keep the money? Instead of refunding me the money and canceling that order, keep the money, and then when they're in stock, send me the shelves that I want. Like, it's not that hard. But apparently their infrastructure just cannot handle that. That is too much for IKEA. apparently.
Northwest to the wind farm.
I don't know. I didn't question, but that's my situation. I only have my Xbox hooked up. All my other consoles are in the floor of my bedroom because I don't have any space out here, so they're just like on the floor of my bedroom, just all unplugged. Just waiting for shelves to be in stock so I can, actually hook them up and plug them in. So, who knows when that's gonna happen? I mean, it said like 3 weeks, so probably like early June-ish, but yeah, who knows at this point. Hold on. While I'm racing, let me get the other comment ready. Let me read the second part of this comment. This one's from Meatloaf Perfume. The second part of this comment, or, well, the last part of this comment, do a unboxing of the new TV and tell us about her and her name and her measurements and her turn-ons and turn-offs. Well, I got this comment after I got the TV, because the video came out after I got the TV. So it was already unboxed. I didn't record it or anything. A name, I don't know if it's a name. I think it's more of like the nationality. It's insignia. Yeah, I'm assuming that's like, I don't know how TVs work. I'm assuming that's a lot closer to nationality than a name. Jennifer. That'll be my TV's name. My TV's name is Jennifer. I'm going to forget that. I'm never going to remember that. So if it ever, that question ever gets asked again, prepare for it to be a completely different name. Her measurements, 55-inch, which was, excuse me, which was exactly how old or how big the last one I had was. But it is a 4K smart TV because you physically cannot buy anything other than a 4K smart TV, at least in that size. You might be able to find a small TV that's not 4K, maybe one that's not smart, but like 55-inch, you got 4K smart TV. Like, you don't have an option. I don't really need the smart TV part. I've used it. It's nice, but like, I also have an Xbox if I really want to put it on. Well, I guess it is nice because I can put stuff on there while playing Xbox, but I have to play the Xbox on my computer. So that actually doesn't make sense, because I can play the Xbox on the TV and then have stuff on the computer. That's what I usually do, so it really is useless for me. It's kind of like alright, and I would appreciate it more if I'm not constantly multitasking, but like, excuse me, but like I am constantly playing video games and watching something. Like I either have like YouTube videos up. I've been just heavily watching Kit Boga recently, who does like tech support scams and shit. Oh my god, that takedown helped me so much. I was going off of the edge. But I've been like binging his videos, so I'll be like playing something and then just have one of his videos up. But like, there's no reason for me to really have the smart TV capabilities. But I can't get one without smart TV, so it's like, I don't really have a choice. But, yeah, what else was there? That was all of her measurements. Again, her turn-ons, hold on, turn-ons, ironically, also her turn-offs to kind of, like, overlap, is, this button. Did I not hit it? Yeah, there, it's on. Also a turn-off. Also, this button as well on the Xfinity remote. Sometimes this button when she's feeling frisky. But yeah, that's her turn-ons and turn-offs. Yeah, that's a fucking TV. Like, who cares? I tried the 4K, like, I finally, because I have the Series X, I actually put it in 4K, and I'm like, wow, this is no different. Like, I just don't, like, the colors are a little sharper, but, like, the actual 4K, it's like nothing's changed. It's just the same thing. Like, it's just the same. It's
Race southeast to the naval yard.
like I've never been the kind that really cares about quality, like picture quality and stuff, and it just doesn't really I don't know. It doesn't seem any different to me. All right, I realize I'm at 47 minutes, but let's hit this last part because holy shit. It's about work, and they just like I genuinely didn't want to talk about work this episode. After last episode, it was the second Burnout episode where I talked about work. And I was like, there's no reason for me to talk about work again. As much as it is like a little cathartic of just like venting about work to just publicly as well, it's like at the same time I'm just like I want to forget about work. I don't want to think about it. I just want to like dealing with the work stress. I just don't want to, and it's part of I don't know. I just don't want to think about it. But like, man, they just keep providing so much to talk about, so much to rant about. Like, it is baffling how my company keeps making all of the exact wrong decisions. So, because the other part of this comment is talking about the CEO making a huge mistake. Like, I can basically summarize it. It's talking about the CEO making a huge mistake when he did the whole, like, work from home is a job, in the office is a career, you know, quoting the banking exec. And then talking about, like, how, you know, at some point, you need to just find another job because the job sucks and you just need to leave. And then, you know, if the company is like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? It's like, I don't know, fucking, like, you know, fuck up, Matt. Like, I don't know, you know, just, you just shrug and just like, well, that's not my problem. I'm leaving. Oh my fucking god! I went here. I didn't want to do that, which is absolutely a good mindset. Like, you owe nothing to the company. Just leave it. Like, who cares? Like, if it's being shit and they're not fixing things, just leave. Like, you don't need to stay at a company just because you've been there a while, or just because them giving you job was not charity. It's a mutual thing. But anyway, so my job. Last we left off, first of all, there was the dev meeting that was coming up on Thursday where it was like, oh, hey, here's a baseball game that I didn't want to go to. That baseball game ended up being optional. The dev meeting wasn't. It was completely pointless. It was a bunch of people talking. I didn't pay attention the entire time. We did like a team building thing where it was like, hey, we're all gonna, you know, get in groups and, you know, figure out, you know, list as many things as possible that you guys all have in common. It's like 8 people in the group, and like, what do all 8 of you have in common? Fucking nothing. Like, it was just so pointless because it also didn't like help with the team building, because at least everyone in my group kind of clearly had the attitude of, we just want this to be over with. So we just got right into it. It's like, all right, does everyone, like, has everyone traveled? Has everyone done this? Like, trying to figure out, like, just the most basic things possible. And, it was so pointless. Like, I don't know the names of, like, 4 of the people that were in my group. Like, they're in IT, I'm assuming support, but, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what department they're in. I don't know their names, because we just got in, didn't introduce ourselves, and just moved on. Like, there was no team building happening. It was the most pointless thing ever. But then the baseball game was optional. I came home, I worked, and had way more fun than I would at the baseball game. Also, the baseball game apparently, like, there was only 3 people left by the end. Everyone else left early, I guess, to beat the traffic. I think it was also because the Phillies were losing, so it didn't really matter. They were just like, all right, no reason to stay at this game. Let's just Let's just leave early, beat the traffic, and not worry about this again. But yeah, it just like I would have had an awful time. I don't like watching baseball. I mentioned before, like I play MLB The Show, but like playing it is a lot different than watching it. I actually turned on the game and tried watching it, and I was just like, this is boring as fuck. Like I cannot sit and watch this. So if that was it, oh wait, what am I doing? I'm not there yet. If that was it, wouldn't have much to talk about. I would have just said that and it would be the end. I'd be ending the episode right now. Friday. That was on Thursday. The Friday. Apparently they'd been in like management meetings all week. And Friday, we were told that upper management wants to start enforcing the dress code again. So the dress code, it was there when I started, but I started remote. And actually, to be fair, I didn't actually know about the dress code when I took the job, and when I found out about the dress code, I was really concerned about it and like actually thought about not taking the job because dress codes are fucking stupid. Also, I'm just like a casual person in general. Like I feel like genuinely uncomfortable. Like even if I'm wearing like a button-down shirt, like it could be physically the most comfortable thing ever. I am not comfortable wearing it. Like I am not a formal person. And the dress code was, hey, you can wear jeans, which is like cool, great, but you have to wear a collared shirt, which already I'm out. And you can't wear sneakers, so I am actually going to be uncomfortable because I'm going to be wearing like just uncomfortable like loafers or something, just because fucking they just no reason really. No reason. I'm a software developer. The reason they gave was like, oh well, we're getting back to normal and investors are going to start coming into the office again and like visiting. And it's like, who gives a shit? Like what? They're gonna see me wearing sneakers and be like, "Oh, that software developer's wearing sneakers in a business? What the? Oh my god, this is awful!" Like I was gonna invest even heavier into this company. Now I'm going to sell all my stock, and I'm just never going to invest in this business again. How could I ever invest in a business where the developers wear sneakers? Oh, it's just horrifying. Like, no one's gonna do that. No one's gonna give a shit. The investors don't care. Like, the investors don't give a shit. It's sneakers. If they give a shit, that's just, they're awful investors if they really look at that and they're like make decisions based off of someone's footwear or like the fact that I'm wearing a all-time low shirt. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't change my job. It doesn't change how I do the job. And that, on its own, wouldn't be bad because we just kind of, like, as a collective, we're like, yeah, fuck that. We're not following that. Like, there was no chance of anyone actually following it because all of us have the mentality of, like, what are they going to do? Fire us? Like, I think at least 3 of the 4 developers that we have mentally checked out. So, we're all just, like, upset about it, but the really thing that upset us the most was not the fact that they were doing it, it's what it represented. Because we have been in the mode of like, we are extremely close, like it seemed like we were extremely close to getting them to give us more flexibility with remote work. Because they wouldn't give us remote work, I talked about that, and we might have been on the verge of getting more flexibility. This just told us that they're never going to change. It told us that they are stuck in their ways. They are never going to change. They're just always going to just constantly fight. Apparently, there was also rumblings that they were actually going to go more in the office and go a 2-3-2 schedule because we can't go full in the office because there are enough people sharing desks, so we just physically cannot go back in the office full time. But right now we're in the office 2 days a week, and they thought about that third day Like, because right now it's 2 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and the other ones are now Wednesday, Thursday. They were Thursday, Friday, but now they're Wednesday, Thursday, and then everyone has Friday off. But I guess there's rumblings that they wanted to switch it to be like Monday, Tuesday, for like the first group, Monday, Tuesday 1 week, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the next week, and then for the second group, Thursday, Friday 1 week, and then Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday the next week. Or like have 2 days a week and then alternate Friday, so it'd have to come in Monday and Tuesday, then have Wednesday and Thursday at home, and then come in Friday, which every other week. It's just, the fact that there's even rumblings about that was just like, no, where this is, it showed that they're stuck in their ways. It showed that they're not actually going to change anything. So one of my best friends who works there, the other senior developer, because it's basically 2 seniors, although neither of us were senior developers. He was a mobile developer, and I was technically like a mid-level developer by title, but they treated me like a senior, and I honestly could have thought I had a senior developer title, so I just called myself a senior developer anyway. But it's us two as the seniors, and then the 2 junior developers. Well, the other senior developer, one of my best friends, he put in his 2 weeks. He already had a job basically lined up with someone we used to work with that was like pestering him for like 6 months trying to hire him. And he would have taken the job. Like, he wanted to take the job. He was just like, it's uncertain. I have a kid on the way, blah, blah, blah. You know, because it's a startup. Like, who knows if it's actually going to be there in a couple years. Like, whereas our company, publicly traded, we know it's not going anywhere. Anytime soon, at least. So, we were like... So he was like, I don't think I'm going to take the job. Especially because if they... do change the work from home stuff, it's, you know, it'll be better. That's like both of our main concerns. Well, he basically that told us they're never going to change the work from home, and he's like, yeah, fuck this. Took the other job. He put in his 2 weeks, which became 3 weeks because they just like asked for an extra week to like clear everything up and like just, you know, transfer his work off to other people. But he's out. They tried to... Alright, I missed that jump. That's not a good jump to miss because I am going to forget that. I'm actually going to get that jump and then probably be done. Well, depending on how long I talk about work yet. But, you know, they tried to counteroffer him with just money. It's not about the money, so obviously it wasn't going to fucking work. He found out that they were actually going to... So he doesn't want to be a mobile developer. And he's been trying for a while to get a promotion. And our dev manager wants him to get the promotion, where basically he would be a system architect. He would be the one making decisions about the software. He would be the one that, like... It'd be like, hey, we want to design this new piece of software. He would be in all the meetings of like how, not just like how it's going to look and everything, but like how the code and everything is going to be structured and how we're going to like integrate it into the rest of the stuff we have. Do we need to integrate it? Does it make more sense to do X, Y, and Z? Like, he was going to be in all of those meetings. And like, that's what he wants to do. Like, not necessarily the meetings part, but like all of the architecting and stuff. That's what he wants to do. I think the senior vice president of IT, I think is her title. She didn't want him to get the title. Not because she didn't think he deserved the title. She wanted to move him to the like website team, because we have a website team that, you know, deals with the website. They deal with the front-facing, like, the website. They're not in the normal development team. They were going to move him there and give him the mobile app. And he would be doing the mobile app full-time on a completely different team, which sucks 2 ways. Because one of the reasons he stayed, like, one of the reasons he said, like, one of the reasons I stayed as long as I did is because of my current boss. Like, you're moving me to someone that I don't like and expecting it to just work. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna be good. It's not gonna work out. But also, he's been saying multiple times, like, I do not want to be a mobile developer. And instead of making him not a mobile developer, they're just digging him further, trying to dig him further into the role. So he's just like, oh yeah, even if it wasn't for the dress code thing, I would have been out anyway. I would have quit as soon as they told me that they were going to put me on a different team as the mobile developer. Understandable. So everything seems just like hopeless because, you know, clearly our upper management are fucking idiots and have no idea what they're doing. Like, anyone past the dev manager, and even the dev manager, like, he understands the problems. I don't know if he really was fighting as hard as he needed to get those problems fixed. I mean, it's not like he has the power, like he can just make the decisions, but it does come across as like, I don't know how, like, if he really took the problem seriously until now, or like as seriously as he needed to. But like, in general, he's not the problem. Like, he knows these are issues. He would absolutely just snap a finger, change them if he could, but he doesn't have the authority. But the upper management, it just was like eye-opening how absolutely just inept they are. How absolutely just oblivious they are. I heard a car. I thought I heard a car. But how just like they don't realize, like, when we're telling them problems, it's literally, we've had so many people quit, not just in IT. You have so many people telling them the issues, and it's literally the meme of the dog sitting in a middle of a room on fire, sipping coffee, saying this is fine. It's literally that. That is literally their attitude, and it's so baffling how, because the things that need to be fixed are so easy to fix. Hey, allow people to go full remote. Done. We were already doing that during the pandemic. Like, you're changing, you already have the infrastructure and everything in place to do that. People already work from home multiple days a week. You already have the ability to do all that. It's so easy to just say, hey, now we're allowing work from home. It's not something that actually needs to be, like, discussed or thought about. Like, you see 50 million people leaving, you just, and all of them citing that they want to work from home. You had one person who was like a key member of like one of the project management teams, I think. Key member. And he left because he was going to take a 2-month sabbatical to be with his kid, because he has like a newborn, like couple months ago, like a month or two ago maybe, wanted to take 2 months off to spend time with him. And because, you know, only had a week of paternity. And the only caveat he has is when he comes back, he wants to be full remote. And they wouldn't give it to him. So he said, all right, here's my 2 weeks. And they are apparently scrambling to backfill his position, scrambling to, like, just panicking. And it's like, this panic didn't need to happen. None of this needed to happen. Literally, the only thing you needed to do was say, yes, we will give you full remote when you come back. And you wouldn't have this problem. But they wouldn't give it to him, so now we just don't have him, period. And it's just baffling how they just can't make these decisions. And so we'll fast forward to Thursday, where I get a message from the dev manager saying, like, hey, when you have a minute, we need to talk. I mentioned, you know, he just wanted to know problems and stuff. I mentioned the remote thing where I was like, look, I want full remote. Like, I literally told my friend, like, if we don't get full remote if the remote thing doesn't change, I'll be out by the end of the year. And honestly, I would have been out way sooner. Probably might still be out way sooner. Who knows? I also mentioned just problems with like workload and priorities, because we don't have priorities. We lost 2 developers, now 3, all of their work getting shoved on everyone else, but we don't actually have priorities, so it's just like more work with no direction. And he was like, all right, I'll, figure out something with that too. All right, I don't think anything's actually gonna happen. I think maybe I'll get full remote, and that's it. My friend gets a call, gets an absolutely amazing counteroffer, which I can't really talk about too much. I know I'm talking about work a lot, probably more in theory more than I should publicly, but like I don't fucking care. The counteroffer, there's like something in it where it's like I definitely should not say this publicly, but it was like an amazing counteroffer, like promotion, raise, just doing like the promotion that he wanted, doing exactly what he wanted, and it's just like that's an amazing counteroffer. He didn't take it because don't take a counteroffer like that, because why did it take them this long to give you that stuff in the first place? Like, why did it take you them that long to give you the promotion? Why did it take them that long to like do all that? So he didn't take it. But then I get a call later basically confirming I have full remote, so I don't have to go in the office anymore. And I have whatever. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I got the promotion to actually be a senior officially, even though, like I said, I pretty much considered myself a senior anyway. And this might be the car that I like, the stunt car. It's so tight, the turning. This might be the one that I remember loving. Probably the advanced version, but yeah, it was just like they're clearly panicking, and clearly like we don't want to lose both seniors. And it's just, but it's also still one of those where I'm like, why did it take this long? Why? What, like, I should have been a senior developer after the end of last year. Like, if I wasn't already, I should have been a senior developer last year. Like, that shouldn't have even been a question. I was one of the only 2 people that got like an outstanding score on like my end of year review, or like whatever the like top score was on the end of the year review. I was one of the only people. The other being my other friend that is now leaving. So with all of that, why did it take this long to be like, oh yeah, you're now a senior? Like, cool, I should have been that. If I got such a good review last year, I should have already been one. But I wasn't given, I didn't get a promotion. I got a decent raise, but I didn't get a promotion then. Well, now I did. So there's that. But then it's also like, I don't think everyone else got full remote, so they're still going to be upset, meaning it's not really going to fix the problems. Like, it's not going to fix their problems, meaning we're still going to lose people, meaning there's still going to be more work, which means it's still going to come down on my shoulders, being the senior developer, especially the only senior developer now. They can't hire people, so there's that problem. So it's like, yeah, this is great and like fixes one of the main problems that I had, but like you still have so many other problems that aren't fixed. You still have so many other problems to fix. Like, we need all of this other stuff fixed. And it's just baffling. It's just like, that is the only word that can describe everything that's been going. Oh my god, I almost had to jump and then I got wrecked. That's the only thing that can describe how baffling it is. It's just, or describe what's going on at my work. Just baffling. Because it's all things where it's like anyone with half a brain could look at it and go, wow, this is shit. You guys need to fix this. And they just cannot get it through their heads. And again, it's all upper management. Like, everyone else in the company realizes that it's a problem. Every other manager, I think, realizes it's a problem. It's just upper management doesn't want to admit it's a problem, doesn't want to give in. And it's the whole mentality of, like, it shouldn't have taken a key person quitting to get all this stuff. Like, it shouldn't have taken this long to get everything we've been asking about for months, basically since we started going remote. We started going remote in September, or started going in office. We started going back in the office in September, and basically since then have already been like, hey, we don't want to be in the office. And it's just like, it clearly comes across like they don't trust us, because that was sort of the thing where they're going to base it on the role. So I think because I'm a senior developer, I get remote work. Any other senior developers may get remote work, but that means the other developers aren't, because they don't trust them. Not that them being but they're remote 60% of the time because they're only in the office 2 days a week. So it doesn't, like, their reasoning doesn't track. It doesn't make sense. But they just can't admit, like, hey, what we're doing isn't working, and we need to change it. I don't know. That's a perfect time to stop that jump. 24%. Why? I feel like wasn't I already at 24%? I feel like I was at 24% at the end of the last episode. Oh, wait. I was at 20-some% for bikes. I was at 21% for bikes. Let me double check, because I'm curious. Oh, this is actually the video. I forgot. I'm doing display capture. Oh, is it 16%? Interesting. Well, I'm now at 24%. So, woo. Maybe I'll start doing road rules and road rules time and Showtime next episode, because I focused on events and got through the fucking C-class license finally. Maybe I'll focus on road rules, just because that's the only area that still has a lot of zeros, and even a 4 just for Showtime. I haven't been focusing on that. I have no idea what next episode is gonna be. This reading the comments actually worked out well. I feel like I'll probably go back to the character, the incompetent podcast host character, but I will also make sure to actually use and listen to Tommy Shadow's music. So, you know, I don't know if there's going to be an actual podcast intro. Probably not, because I'm me. Laziness. But I don't know. Maybe I'll think of some other stupid way to do a video. I don't know. I have some ideas. Some of them may come to fruition. Some of them require other things. I don't know. But if you have any other ideas of how to keep this series interesting, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll respond to them in another episode. Just keep the cycle going. Hey, do you have any ideas of how to keep this interesting? All right, there's some comments. I'll respond to those comments and not actually use any of them, I guess. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Yeah. Bye. There's supposed to be an outro here. I can't think of it right now. I've been going for way too long. Why are you still watching? Go away. Stop. Go. No. Stop. God damn it, they're still there.